Good morning. Are you somebody that when you were a kid and you needed to make a decision, somebody said, "Oh, I've got the perfect method. Just write a line down the front, down a piece of paper in the middle, and on one side put pros, and on one side put cons, and simply list all the pros and list all the cons, and whatever side is biggest, just go with that." I'm here to tell you, and not attempting to offend you, that that is a terrible system. It's a brutal system. What if on one side it's my kid dies, and on the other side you have 10,000 things? Obviously, if your kid's going to die on one side and not die on the other side, well, maybe not obviously for everyone. For me, if my kid's going to die, that's going to hold far more weight. And here's the problem with pro-con lists, is that it doesn't take in the emotional side of things. It doesn't weight the importance of these different things on the list. So here's what I'm going to encourage you to do today. Instead, if you need to make a decision, instead of going with a pro-con list, what I'd suggest is assessing your emotional attachment to these different things. I mean, you can still put pros and cons there if you want, but don't weight them equally. It's not one for one. Weight some things as according that are going to lead you to your goals and fulfill you on a deep level versus things that are taking you away from your goals. That's what I'd suggest. And this is the way to make fantastic decisions on a consistent basis. What you want to do is ask yourself, why do I want this? Or why, so a purchase of I'm going to use something ridiculous. The purchase of a vacuum cleaner, okay? Or not even that. Yeah, we'll go with vacuum cleaner just because it's ridiculous. If you need to weigh the pros and cons of buying a vacuum, this is what I would do. I wouldn't waste my time on it personally because it doesn't add up to my goals, what I buy. But if this was important to you, what I would say is, wait a second, why would a certain model be better than the other? What is important about this for you? Maybe frugality is really what's important to you. Well, if frugality, if buying something inexpensive that still works and getting the best deal, if that's what's important to you, then what I would do is focus on that. What's the best deal? And I would simply focus on that. I would ask myself, what components go into the best deal, how long it lasts, how inexpensive it is, how much it is per year, whatever it is, and make the decision on that. Ask yourself why. Why do I want this? What is most prominent for me? What are the emotions that come up for me? If I'm buying a vehicle and it's to impress clients or to impress friends of some kind, well, if that's emotionally what's pulling me the most, well, then I'm going to pay attention to it, right? If it doesn't typically motivate me impressing people, but if that's the case, and I know a lot of people where this is the case, if that's the case, then ask yourself, why? Why is this so important to me? Why is it important to me to impress somebody? If it's legitimately something that if I impress others, they see my business in a different light, and they value my business, so they're most likely going to give me more clients. Well, wait a second, if that's the reason, great. Go with it. Focus on it. And then focus on buying something that's going to fit that. That's how we make decisions. We don't make decisions based on other people's concepts of pro-con lists or what's most expensive or least expensive. Those are terrible ways of making ideas or making decisions. Make decisions based on what you want, what your goals are. Not your current circumstances, what your goals are. Because if you base your decisions on your goals for the future, you will consistently make decisions that lead you there. So I always ask myself when I'm making decisions, what are my priorities here? Where am I emotionally? What are the emotional pulls in different ways? What is more weighty? What weighs more? Next, I will ask myself, so how does this lead to my goals? Does it align with my goals or not? Does it push me closer, further away? Now, if it doesn't do either, if it doesn't matter, then I'll make a decision based on something else, okay? Again, why in different ways. But most of my decisions are based on my goals right now. What do I want? Why am I taking my kids to ultimate frisbee practice? Or why am I doing this with my wife, hanging out with her every Sunday night, spending time? Well, because I've got bigger goals. And because I'm always working towards those goals. I talked about family. I've got business goals, other goals as well, physical health goals. So hopefully this helps. I want you to scrap the pro-con list forever. Don't ever write a pro-con list again. What I'd suggest is, again, think about a decision you need to make right now and go, what are the emotional attachments? If I don't do this, how will I feel? If I do this, how will I feel? If I don't do this, will it get me closer to my goals? If I do this, will it get me closer to my goals? Start asking yourself those questions and you'll make far better decisions on a more consistent basis. Remember, you've got this.